participant following. You have about 10 minutes, from 10 to 12 minutes for your presentation, and 5 minutes for question and answer. We can start, but I want to give a few words to our friends from Harbin University, Li, can you say words?
Yes. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. I'm very glad to meet you in this conference. I studied in SPBU, St. Petersburg City University, many years ago, and I got my PhD diploma in the Faculty Applied Mathematics and Process. It is my pleasure to help our university, SPBU, to get more cooperation with our Chinese universities, especially Harbin Institute University and Yan University. I studied in Yan University several years ago, and now I'm working in Harbin Institute University. I hope our professors and our young researchers could find more cooperative partners in Russian side, because I lived and studied in St. Petersburg. I knew that there were many excellent scientists. So I hope I wish this conference could help us to find a good chance for each other. And I wish the conference could be a successful and excellent conference. Thank you for all colleagues. Thank you for all teachers in the university who helps the conference, and thank you for all participants in the conference. Thank you very much. Hello. We can't see.
Thank you very much, Li. I have additional information about conference. Today, the head of this section, Professor Alexander Krylatov, and I, Dr. Ivan, and scientific secretary Yeremin Alexey. Here, you can see the displays. And of course, Li also is included to group of head of this conference. Also in this section presents our Yunnan friendly university, and I want to give you words to Dean of this university and our friends.
Excuse me, Dean of Yan University, he was busy right now, but Dean of Faculty Mathematics in Harvard.
Sorry,
he's
sorry.
Here. Yeah, yes.
Yes. Sorry.
Okay.
Hello. My name is Zhichang Guo. I'm a professor from School of Mathematics, Harbin Institute of Technology, China. I would like to express my thanks to the conference organization committee for inviting our faculty and students to the control process and stability conference, and your kindness help during the submission process. We have a team in Harbin Institute of Technology named scientific and engineering computation team. We have more than 10 faculty and more than 100 graduate students in the team. Our research area including numerical mathematics, numerical fluid dynamics, image processing, deep learning. We hope that we can have more opportunities to cooperate in the future, and we would like to invite college in SPBU to visit Harbin. My research area is image processing, including traditional partial diffusion equation based on image processing, and deep learning based on image processing.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Alexander, do you want to say any words from my hand? Yes. Hello, dear colleagues. It is a great pleasure to see all of you, even via Zoom. I hope that today will be a good presentation, very useful work of all of us. And so I want to wish good luck to everyone who participate today. So let's go. Thank you. The first presentation is the first presentation is Gao Zhaichen with topic is problem research of UAF information model based on pure azimuth passive localization. You can start.
Please share your screen.
好的，我们可以开始会议了。可以共享一下桌面。
Это точно не нам.
李老师，我们是第一个吗？我听了刚才念的好像不是我们这个题目。
Простите, первый topic это какой?
Первый это номер 5. Это Gao Zhaichen.
Gao Zhaichen, это не по номерам.
Нам сказали, что это приглашенный докладчик, он будет выступать первым.
Нам сказали, что это докладчик приглашенный, и он должен первым выступать.
Нет, приглашенный это первый, Ютун Чжан. Это должен первый, да. Это приглашенный доклад. 他们弄错了，他们弄错了。
Ничего страшного, хорошо.
Окей, 他们以为第5个是邀请的，да. Первый это ученый, invited paper, please. 李老师。
好。Hey, hello everyone. Can you see the screen?
Okay, very well.
Okay. Hi, my name is Yao Li. I'm a assistant professor in Harbin Institute of Technology. I will represent Professor Gu Zhichang to make the talk. And our topic is a review of adversarial attack in computer vision. This is a general review, and it is not contain any technical details, and there's no cutting edge research there, just a review. So what is adversarial attack? So recently there are a lot of successful models, including ChatGPT, which is a big thing this year. Actually, this is a big thing last December. And we have like Stable Diffusions, very popular last year. And we have Transformers and YOLO series. For now, it should be YOLO version 8. And all these models are very successful and very popular. And all those models have achieved very high accuracy. But however, some research found out that some models that are not very stable sometimes, in a very extreme 6 months, if we add a very small perturbation to the image, even the perturbation is imperceptible by human eyes, So the deep models can misclassify the sample into another class with very high accuracy or with very high confidence. So for this, for example, if we have an image of tank in the first image, and it was predicted as tank as 100% accuracy, and if we add a very tiny noise, the noise in the second image, and the image after adding the noise is in the third image, so you can see that the third image is almost the same as the first one, but the neural network will predict it as a quotient for 100% accuracy. And this thing is called adversarial attack. So this is not a phenomenon that it only happens to only a few samples or only a few models. It happens to almost all the models and for all the samples for this model. So this is so then it becomes a big thing that our neural network is not that safety. It can be attacked by some adversarial samples. So if a sample can be attacked, it means that if we add a small perturbation, the sample will cross the decision boundary to the other side of the decision boundary, so such that it can be predicted as another class. And as we said, for almost all the samples, they can be attacked. So it means that almost all the samples, they are right next to the decision boundary. So in this case, we can find out the neural network is quite different from what we humans to perceive or to recognize images. So the neural network has their boundary that's next to almost all the samples. And some researchers want to find out why this happens. So some of them using a tool called CAM, class activation map. So CAM is, if you are familiar with CAM, it is a class activation mapping. It looks at the last layer of the neural network and to find out where the neural network is activated the most and upsampling to the original image size. It assumes that the region where activated the most is a region the model focused on. So in the right two images, it is the result of the CAM. So in the first image, before the attack, the neural network is actually focusing on the tail of the tank. And after the attack, after the small perturbation is added on the image, the neural network is actually focused on the mountain. But this is just only a visualization, or it's just using a tool to see why this happens. It doesn't have any theory there. And whether this tool is true and whether this is correct, there's no evidence there. So now we have the adversarial attacks. So there's a word called robustness. Robustness is defining as how the model can define adversarial attacks. It is different from the generalization. Generalization means that once the model looks at a sample which is in the population, but the model have never seen this model. If the model has low generalization, the model can predict it, the new sample wrong. But the robustness means that if a model have low robustness, even the model knows the sample very well, even the sample is in the training set of the model can still make mistakes in the small neighborhood of this sample. And so in this case, the neural network becomes very unsafe. If we are nowadays we have the face recognition. We're using face recognition for like security check, for payments online. So we can use adversarial attack to wearing a glass, or we put some markers on the face to mislead the neural network model, such that the neural network model cannot detect the face, or the neural network model can detect you as someone you want. So the significance of research on adversarial attacks is that if we know why the model make mistakes on these adversarial samples, and we can identify the weakness of the algorithm. And the model can be modified to have a more robust performance on the samples. And on the other side, adversarial attack can be a good metric that evaluates how security is the model. And on the third part, almost all the model can be attacked by adversarial attack. So when we are applying the neural network models, we have to consider that if someone using adversarial attacks against our model, what will be the consequence? Whether we can accept this consequence if we apply the neural network models. So the neural network models, the adversarial attack methods can be generally divided into two categories: the white box attack and the black box attacks. The white box attacks means that we know everything about the model. We know the structure, we know the parameters, we know everything about the model. So we are using these information to building our attack methods and to carry out the attacks. For the black box methods, we don't know anything about the parameters. We don't know the structures, but we have the access to the model. We can use its input and output. We can take inputs to the model and observe the output. So we can repeatedly observe the input and output. And by observing how the output change when we adjust the input, we can build our adversarial attack methods. But the black box attacks are usually what we see in the reality, because mostly we don't have access to the model parameters and the model structures. But the black box research on black box attack, it has research significance that to know the neural network better. So from another aspect, adversarial attack can be divided into target attack and non-target attack. Non-target attack means that we doesn't care what's the category it will be predicted to. What we care is it makes mistakes. It makes mistakes. So from the image on the right, the original image is a hawk, and if we use untargeted attack, it can be predicted as anything, but as long as it's not a hawk anymore. If we are using targeted attack, we will input a target. We will let the samples to be classified as the class we want it to be. So in this sample, we have a picture of hog, and we have a target label which is a Lakeland Terrier, and the sample will be classified as Lakeland Terrier. So for the white box attacks, there are two main trends of research. The first one is optimization-based attack. So as we mentioned before, the adversarial attack, there's targeted, there's non-targeted. For targeted attack, we are trying to make the neural network to be classified as a target class. And for the non-targeted attack, we are trying to make the neural network to be classified to be away from the true class. And so the entire process can be described in an optimization problem. So the object function will be the prediction is away from the true class or close to the targeted class. And the constraint will be, the perturbation will be small enough and the human eye cannot be perceived it. So usually the perturbation will be limited by L2 or L infinity norms. And there are another trend called generative attacks. Generative attacks is we are building another neural network. We are building a generator to generate samples that makes the target neural network make mistakes. And the difference is that the optimization-based attacks, it can, for one sample, they usually make one adversarial samples. So they have a pair. For each sample, we have another sample to as the adversarial samples. But for generative attacks, we are actually building models. The model can generate adversarial samples. So if the model has been built, it can output many samples, and all these samples are adversarial samples. So they are not limited to the specific sample. So for the optimization-based white box attacks, there are some of them are very popular. There's LBFGS, which is the first one. There's a CNW attack. There's IFGSM, which is the second one. There's PGD attack, which is used very popular. For the LBFGS attack, which is the first adversarial attack algorithm. So it is described as an optimization problem. And so the first term is we want to have a perturbation that is small enough. It will be limited by the L infinity norm. And the second term is we want the prediction of the original sample plus the perturbation, which is close to our target prediction label. So that if we minimize this loss function with the constraint that the original sample plus the perturbation, which is still an image. And if we're solving the problem, we can have the optimized, which is the smallest perturbation that can make our sample be misdetected by the neural network. And the FGSM is the second paper in the adversarial attack. It is an extension of the FGSM. It assumes that if the loss function, it is a non-target attack. So it assumes that if the loss function of the neural network is big, is large, and the prediction will be wrong. So it uses the loss function of the neural network, and it's using a positive gradient of the loss of the neural network on this sample, and it has an iteration and added to the original samples, so that the neural network can so after by keeping through the iterations, the samples will be away from the original predictions. And for the generative white box attacks, there are network for adversarial generation, generative adversarial perturbation, and transferable targeted perturbation. I'll only show one of them is the NAG, the first one. The NAG trains a GAN model. It trains a generative adversarial neural network to generate noise that's minimizing the loss. The loss is just a cross entropy, such that the neural network will make the wrong predictions. So the QC is the original confidence. So by minimizing the loss, the original confidence will be decreased. So after the loss is minimized, the prediction will be changing from the original prediction to another prediction. And for the NAG, it has another loss. So this because the generator can generate a lot of samples, and all of them can make the neural network make mistakes. But we have to ensure that all these samples are keep away from each other. We don't want the neural network to generate all the same samples. So this loss is to ensure that for one of the adversarial samples and another adversarial samples, they are keeping away from each other. And these plots on the right corners, they are the perturbations generated by the samples. We can see that each of them looks quite different. And all these perturbations can make the neural network defective. And for the black box attack, we have two main trends. One of them is query-based attack, because for the black box attacks, we only have the access to the input and the output. Query-based attack is when we put the input and we get the output, and we adjust the input a little bit, and we can observe the output then, and we keep changing the input, we can have another observation of the output. By observing how the output changed, we can build our strategy to attack this model. And transfer-based attack, it is built on assumption that if we have a target model we want to attack, and it is built on a data set. For example, if we have a model that detects the handwriting digits, and we want to attack it, we can have another model that is trained on the same or similar data set, and then we have another model. So the assumption is that for these two models, which are trained on the same or similar data set, if they are well trained, they will have similar classification boundaries. So because they are built on the same data set, and both of them are very well trained and they achieve very high accuracy, so we can assume that they have very similar performance and very similar classification boundaries. So now we have another. If we have another model which is known, we built it, we know the parameters and we know the structures, we can use white box attacks. And hopefully these attacks can be transferred to the original models. So this is another approach. There are, for the query base, they have the GDA, they have one pixel attack, they have zoo attack. The most popular used one is zoo attack. Zoo attack is we alter the input a little bit, and we use the difference between the input and difference between the output to calculate the first order derivative and second order derivative of the neural network. And we are using these derivatives to build our adversarial attack methods. And for transfer-based attacks, because we have a model which is known, which is approximate of the target model, and we can use white box attacks on this approximated model. But the original FGSM PGD, they don't have very good transferabilities. So people have some authors, they have using momentums, they consider transformations, they have auxiliary classifiers, they can use different losses. And all these methods, they can help to help the adversarial samples transfer from our approximated model to the original model. And transfer for the optimization-based attacks, they usually don't have much transfer abilities, but for generalization attacks, they have better transfer abilities. We can assume that for the optimization-based attacks, they are looking at very local information of the decision boundary. So if the decision boundary change a little bit, the perturbation can be not efficient. But the generalization-based models, they are looking at a more broader view of the models. And they have many samples. If one of them doesn't work, the other stuff can work. So the generalization-based models, they have better transferabilities. And there are some other research called universal adversarial perturbations. It is a method that creating one perturbation that works for all the samples in the training data set. So it is saying like I have a perturbation, and this perturbation works for all the training samples, and can make all the samples to be classified wrong. So all the above are the research on adversarial attacks. It means how we build adversarial attack methods. And there are some downstream tasks other than image classification using adversarial attacks. For example, if we are using it on the object detection, we know that object detection have two main losses. One of them is the bounding box how to be correct. Another one is the classification how to be correct. So we can either attack one of the loss, and we can also attack both of the loss. The classical approach is to consider both of the classification loss and the localization loss simultaneously, and to build the attack methods. So the first one is the face detection. We can detect the face from the original image. And the second one is we add the small perturbation on the entire image, and the face is no longer be detected. And the third image is that if we adding the perturbation to only the face area, and that can also help, that can also make the neural network doesn't detect the face. For the semantic segmentation is easier to be attacked comparing to object detection, comparing to classification. And they have targeted attack, they have non-targeted attack. Targeted attack is I can pre-design which area I want to be segmented. And for the non-targeted attack is I can make all the segmentation completely wrong, but I doesn't have any control on how it will be segmented. And for the semantic segmentation, it is usually be considered as a pixel-wise classification, and our adversarial goal is to misclassify every pixels. So this is the first one is original image, and we have a very teeny tiny perturbations there. And this is the third one is the adversarial image, and we designed the segmentation area is like a circle in the image or round in the image. So semantic segmentation is easier to be attacked. And there are some future directions. So the current adversarial attack research, they are mainly focused on the experimental conclusions. There's very little analysis on why such attackers are effective or why neural network can be attacked. But we think that there's the analysis on these areas, they can tell what is the neural network or how the neural network works and how we can improve the neural network. So the future research on this area will be very critical or very crucial to the neural network research. And there are also some many downstream tasks in the computer visions that are not being studied yet. For example, the denoising, for example, the super resolutions. So all these tasks, they have very popular deep neural networks, but there's only a few adversarial research on there. But using these adversarial attacks, we can help to improve the security or robustness of these models. One of our research is we can. There's another trend is we can build a model that can defend these attacks. The most simple way is we can collect all the adversarial samples and put it mix them with the training data set, and train the neural network with the original training data set and the adversarial training data set. And so the neural network can have some kind of defense on the adversarial samples, but the performance will be lower. And one of our work is we designed a regularization term and added to the neural network. And we can see that the decision boundary becomes more smooth, and the distance between the samples to the classification boundary becomes larger. And we tested on some data set, it shows that it helps on defending all these adversarial attacks. For the downstream task, there are some research on we are currently working on some adversarial attacks on super resolutions. And for the super resolutions, super resolution is we have a low resolution image, and we are expanding it to a very large ones. And the adversarial samples results for the super resolution is that we have some stripes, or we have some patterns, textures on the image, and these textures looks very in patterns. So we are working on that. Why they have such patterns? Is which part of this network wrong? Whether it is the feature extraction, whether it is the unconvolutional part. So these are some research areas we're working on. And that's it. Thank you for your listening. And if you have any questions.
Thank you very much, Yaoli. I think it's a very good presentation and a relevant topic for my team. We have many points of collaboration, and thank you very much. And the next presentation is boxing, hybrid multi-agent tennis, adversarial model. А мы этот доклад выступающий не будем вопросы, да.
Okay, 张博鑫。张博鑫。
Boxing, hybrid multi-agent tennis.
陈功勇，张博鑫在吗
Second.
Okay. Дорогие коллеги, можно следующий. Наверное, они сейчас.
The next presentation is Chen Xian, model design of Pet Little Butler.
下一个是陈子涵。
This student from Yan University, yes?
Yes. 陈子涵。
老师我在。
哎，好的。
范鹏博。
范鹏博，好的。
The judges heartfelt greetings to you. 哎，稍等，我还没共享屏幕。
Please share your screen. Thank you.
Thank you. You can start.
Okay. Dear judges, heartfelt greetings to you. I'm the reporter Fan Pengbo from Yan University. The topics of the group research are model design of Pet Little Butler, intelligent robot based on artificial intelligence. The motivation for doing this project is that the group members are more interested in artificial intelligence and they have a love for pets. When it comes to pet, everyone has their own different experience, but for office workers who cannot have free time for a long time and the elderly with limited energy, they are troubled by a question. That's how is raise a pet? I will present our research from the following 4 aspects: project overview, product introduction, market analysis, and deficiencies. The first, project overview. Intelligent robot is a machine system that comprehensively assimilates people in terms of perception, thinking, and expects, which can replace humans in various fields. The expected effect of the pet housekeeper intelligent robot is to help the owner effectively solve the problem of not being able to take care of the pet. The next thing is to show you is the product concept, which is our which is our original design intention. Based on the current comprehensive social situation, more pet is a boarding service of pet stores. But the real sense of pet escort has not been fully realized. Secondly, the aging of the whole society and the increasing number of workers. Users cannot take good care of pets, and the current house escort robots on the market are mainly used to accompany elderly and children. And only a few single function exactly devices can be used to accompany pets. Pet Little Butter intelligent robot expects to achieve video surveillance function, free movement function, voice dialogue function, and intelligent feeding function. The pet housekeeper intelligent robot that integrates 4 functions and can not only help users observe the situation of pets daily, but also facilitate the users to care of and accompany pets when they go out for a short time, reducing the loneliness of pets. If you have cats and dogs are good friends, then we can help you solve some troubles. Next, product introduction. The product involves technology. The first, machine version technology, autonomous positioning and navigation technology, home computer interaction technology, multi sensor information phones, Wi-Fi technology. These technologies are literally expressed, and what it ultimately presents is our encompassing. This part is described in detail in the article. If I were a user, then I would definitely hope that such a home robot could help me solve most of my problems. More practical and convenient is our primary consideration. Then the above functions are the main functions we can explore at present. It can fit, can move, and can make you see your baby pet. Next, the product advantage analysis. Suitable for all people with the improvement of people's living standards. Every household has begun to raise pets, and sometimes there will be no one to take care of pets. From here, we have launched our pet bouncer intelligent robot to solve pet-related matters. The product is rich in features. Our housekeeper is voice monitoring function, free movement function, voice dialogue function, and automatic feeding function. The intelligent robot can effectively and professionally help users take care of and supervise pets when they are busy at work, so that users do not have to worry too much about the daily life of pets. Great market optional. China has a large population, and there are many families with pets, and most of the population is mainly concentrated in young people and middle-aged and elderly people. It can be seen that the market are faced by our pet housekeeper is also very wide. If we want such a production, no, it will still have some time. After all, such a market is blank, but we hope that in the near future, such products can be popularized in every household. Next, market analysis. Market background. At present, more PETA escorts on the market at a PETA store boarding service, but the real sense of PETA escort has not been finally realized. At present, the home PETA comparison robot on the market can be said to be relatively blank, and the better products that can be understood, the PETA kit, PETA competition, and wicked bound to PETA playmate, intelligent robot. The functions are relatively single, can only simply interact with pets or mostly minor PETA behavior and require human sitting operations. It doesn't take into account the functions of PETA introversion and relevance to leave the place of reduced for a long time. Inability to expect a short life with strangers, encounter with owners, business trip, care for pets, and emotional comfort. In general, the market competitive advantages of the pet housekeeper. Intelligent robot is relatively large, and the market prospects are considerable. Due to time constraints, I will briefly show you this part. This part is target customers. Market demand. In the conclusion of the article, we show the later research plan and the shortcomings, including the advice of the supervisor who hopes to use the professional advantages to focus on technology, and carry out in-depth learning and research on how to develop systems and use algorithms. It also our main direction in later research and future learning. The above is our consent display. Welcome teachers to reticle and guide.
Thank you very much for your presentation. I have little questions. Do you have program architecture of your solution? Maybe a little prototype? Do you have program architecture which you plan to implement in future work? Dr. Lee, can you help us to translate to Chinese English?
OK，хорошо，你能不能你有这方面的代码没有？
因为我们这方面是建立了一个这个宠物机器人的模型。
不用跟我回答，用英语来回答。
哦。This article is mainly build a model and doesn't require much technical research. In the future, when we search new technologies and improve solvently, development research is very critical. And this process is for buffer period. We can learn more professional knowledge. We will also use the best algorithm to carry out the next research through group cooperation.
Okay, and the last my questions is what is technological stack are you planning to use for implementation? No, maybe what program language or special frameworks or technological tools.
Просите, на русском, да, я
На каком
перевожу.
языке программирования он собирается реализовывать свою систему? Какой технологический стек он собирается использовать? Какой-то фреймворк? Вот на чем он собирается это делать?
OK， хорошо，я перевожу。就是你这个东西用什么语言写的，包括架构啊这些东西，是否可以介绍一下？用英语来介绍。然后其他同学英语好的可以帮他听一下问题。
Due to the limitation of the letters of the paper, we only provide the model of the robot, but didn't mention how to develop the system.
But in future, I mean in future work, what you want use in future, not now,
future.
In future, yeah. What are you planning to want to use?
未来准备
To integrate the system into Home Assistant. Это облегчит ему.
Faster and more efficient study is to use some sensor technology, which is currently only a preliminary design based on composition sensors. In the future, we may consider making our own innovations.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And
好的，谢谢。
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And the next presentation is done. The topic is implementation of 22 categories: license plate recognition and multiple license plate detection.
Okay, Professor.
Okay.
Have you heard me?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Dan Jiaqian from Harbin Institute of Technology, and this is a joint work with Chen Xingquan, He Yuwei, Sun Mongyuan, and Professor Guo Zhichang, Li Yao. It's a great honor to come to this meeting. Today, I'm going to talk about the application of license plate recognition algorithm in mainland China and propose a multi-category license plate recognition framework combined with mainland China standards. And this is the process of this report. First, let's give a brief introduction. With the development of smart cities, the detection and the recognition of license plate are used in various occasions, such as traffic management, automatic toll collection in parking lots, and automatic driving. So traditional methods need multiple stages to achieve such as license plate location, license plate correction, character segmentation, character recognition. With the rapid development of convolutional neural network, many models with multiple architectures have been developed, such as this. The method based on deep learning has achieved good results, and the recognition rate of most networks is about 95%. But at present, there are few algorithms that realize the detection and the recognition of all kinds of license plates. So there are some problems. Existing algorithms classify license plates into two types at almost. A single layer license plate and a double layer license plate. However, there are uncommon and conventional license plates in mainland China, such as civil aviation vertical green plates and agricultural license plates. Commonly used license plate detection algorithms don't take it into account. In addition, coarse-grained license plate detection can't distinguish multiple license plates on the same vehicle. We can see this picture. And the traditional license plate detection systems will not work properly in Shenzhen, Macau, and other regions in China. And another question is, similar to this is that in Chinese standard license plate specification, such as double layer Hong Kong and Macau license plates, this kind of double layer license plate can't be directly recognized, and it needs to be recognized after image pre-processing. Since the deviation ratio of the double layer license plate is not uniform, and this kind of license plate is very rare, the existing algorithm doesn't have a good solution to this. So our work is, we propose a classification method for different license plates. First, we use the YOLO V7-phase network for target detection. In this process, the license plate is divided into 22 categories, and then the detected license plate into returned to the key point. After that, each category obtained can be subjected to standardized data processing and then passed through CRNN for character recognition. And we can see this picture. For license plate classification, we divide all license plates into 22 categories according to mainland China standards, as shown in this figure. In the process of classification, we consider not only the structure of single layer and double layer license plates, but also the differences within the license plate category. And for multi-layer license plates, we first set different segmentation ratios according to different character ratios, then segment and recombine the license plate and input it into the network for character recognition. And we can see this picture. The following is a rendering of our model for detection and recognition. We can see that our model can recognize unconventional license plates, such as multiple license plates and double layer yellow license plates. And this is our experiment. We train and test on the CCPD dataset and compare with other models. The YOLO V7 phase network performs well on the CCPD dataset. This shows that the network has a high detection performance. On the other hand, when our network only uses the data of a certain coupling for training, the APE index greater than 80 is also obtained on the CCPD dataset. Although the CCPD dataset is widely used, it lacks other categories of license plate information. To this end, we train and test on a dataset provided by a company. After 20 epochs, our detection network has achieved extremely high accuracy and recall rates on various license plate types. And on the company's dataset, our network has achieved a comprehensive end-to-end accuracy rate of 98.6%. For some common plates in mainland China, the accuracy rate has achieved more than 99%. So we can get the conclusion. In this report, we propose a multi-category license plate recognition framework for license plate standards in mainland China, which solves the recognition problems of unconventional license plates, including Hong Kong and Macau 3 license plates, airport vertical plates, and the double-layer license plates. And the method is verified in the models to improve the accuracy of license plate detection and recognition. So for more details of this paper, please contact us, and you can reach me through the email shown at the bottom of this page. Thank you very much. If you have any question.
Thank you for your presentation. It's very interesting. I have little questions. Are you planning to integrate your solution to a real system in China?
Oh, sorry, I can't catch the question.
Are you planning to integrate your solution to a real system?
Real government system.
Real government system.
To control road.
他说就是在真实的系统中，real system。
Industry partners.
Okay, Professor. We have used these algorithms into real systems.
Yes.
And get great recall rate.
It's very good. I think it's a great work. Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Then the next presentation is Gao Jian, optimization study of an ethanol preparation model for C4 of olefins. Please start.
Good afternoon.
Share to full screen. Thank you.
Good afternoon, distinguished professor. I'm Fan Xuanping. Next. Good afternoon, distinguished professor. I'm Fan Xuanping. Next, I will make a report on behalf of our team. Our team members are Gao Zihan, Wang Qi, Liu Zhuoxin, and Fan Xuanping. The topic of our report is optimization study of an ethanol preparation model for carbon for elephants. This report is divided into 4 sections. The first section is background and significance. The second section is problem analysis. The second section is model construction. And the last section is construction of the article. First, let's look at the first part, background and significance of the selected topic. Carbon for olefins are the most important basic chemical raw materials, which are used in large quantities in the production of chemical products. At present, there is a large gap in carbon for olefins resources. Therefore, how to prepare carbon for olefins efficiently has become the focus of our research. In the preparation of the carbon for olefin as the emerging technology, ethanol carbon preparation of carbon for olefin has attracted much attention. Compared with other preparation technologies, it has advantages. For example, the intermediate products produced using this method has a good market potential and application scope. In addition to that, difference in catalyst combination and temperatures determine whether the feedstock can be used efficiently to produce more carbon for olefins. Next, let's look at part 2, problem analysis. This problem has 4 variables: ethanol conversion, carbon for olefin selectivity, temperature, and the time. We use a control variable method to solve the problem. Firstly, only 3 variables are considered: temperature, ethanol conversion rate, and carbon for olefin selectivity. Determine temperature as a independent variable, then isolane conversion rate and carbon for olefin selectivity as a department variables. Determine the regression equation, perform the corresponding calculations, and using Python to for data visualization makes the result more intuitive. Next, we analyzed the test results of a given sort of catalyst combination experiments at 315 degrees at different times. The model was constructed with time as an independent variable, ethanol conversion and carbon for olefin selectivity as a department variables, at which time the selectivity of several other products under the same catalytic conditions with time was also considered. Okay, let's look at part 3, model constructions. For this model, there are 4 assumptions. The first is that the catalyst performance is stable in the experiment. The second is that the various data are accurate and reliable. The second is that the internal and external conditions are the same. Finally, the last one is that no other factors affect the experimental results. Okay, here are the related relevant symbols description. They have 7 symbols. Next, the linear regression model is defined. The 2 equations above are linear regression model of ethylene conversion and temperature, and linear regression model of carbon for olefin selectivity and temperature, respectively. And the second part is similar to the first part. It defines by the equation this function. The topic is a total of 21 groups of experiments. 3 groups of experiments, A1, A2, and A3, were selected to analyze the relationship between ethanol conversion rate and carbon for olefin selectivity and temperature under different catalyst combinations. In the figure, the solid line contains the points tapped according to the data set, and the dashed line is a fit line. This line is a fit line. The 3 points above are the fitting results for the A1, A2, and A3 catalyst combination, respectively. The equations cooperating to the bottom of each graph are the estimated ethanol conversion and estimated carbon for Olympic selectivity, respectively. This table shows the selectivity of the ethanol conversion at 315 degrees with respect to the 6 products generated. This image is a folding line fit of each reactant at 315 degrees. Finally, conclusion of the article. We find the first is that the catalyst combination has a significant inhibitory effect on ethanol conversion with time variable variation at 315 degrees. The second is with a change of time, there must be a reverse reaction in the chemical reaction of carbon for olefins prepared by ethanol. The reaction time needs to be controlled during the reaction, and thus the reaction cost and raw material consumption. This is the end of our group's report. Thank you, Professor, for listening, and please give my team criticisms and corrections.
Thank you very much for your interesting report. Dear colleagues, do you have a question?
Very interesting.
Okay, we have that question. And the next presentation is He Liu Fan Peng Chen with topic apple leaf disease detection based on regression TINI-YOLO network. Please share screen.
不懂，你也调研差不多了。
Да, я знаю. Но я сказал спасибо.
Apple leaf disease detection based on regression TINI-YOLO network.
Да, я знаю, только спасибо.
The next, okay. Сейчас посмотрю. Okay, the next presentation is pedestrian detection system based on YOLO version 3.
Hello, Professor. Please wait a moment.
Okay.
We thank you.
We wait.
Знаешь, зачем YOLO?
Да. Wait a few minutes.
Все изучают, вежливые английский, это очень невежливо говорить так. Wait. Ну, типа, надо сказать sorry. Sorry. 1 minute, там что-то.
Английская королева нас всех построил. Точнее, он нас быстро построил. Но мы его вообще не поняли.
Share screen. You can start your presentation.
Hey, Professor, can we start?
Yes.
Hello, professors. This time our team designed a pedestrian detection system based on UV3. I am Liu Yanhao, the respondent for this project, and I will report on it. The name of the project we worked on it is a pedestrian detection system based on UV3. Our team is composed of 4 members named Liu Yanhao, Xu Huai-Jinhui, Li Zekun, and Liang Ying. This report is divided into 5 parts, including introduction, constructing dataset, network model, building the system, and the conclusion. The first part I want to introduce is the research background and the research significance. The research background of the pedestrian detection system can be described in terms of various aspects, such as traffic safety issues, the development of image processing technologies, application and research progress. All of these have contributed to the development and innovations of pedestrian detection system with the continuous improvement in computer processing power and deep learning techniques. Pedestrian detection system have become integrated in areas such as smart city and autonomous driving. The second part I want to introduce is research significance, which include 4 points. The first is designing and developing data set models and solving data imbalances problem. The second is selecting approach feature. The second is selecting approach feature and the detection head to train the detection network. The third is completing the construction and debugging of the basic model. And the last is implementing a real-time pedestrian detection system. Next, I'd like to introduce the construction of this set. In the part, we face some problem when we want to construct this set. Problem 1 is that more than pedestrians appear on the actual street, but also bicycles, cars, motorbikes, and so on. Problem 2 is that there is a need to pinpoint 2 dimensions on an image or videos and then to distinguish between the top and the bottom occlusion of objects. Problem 3 is that since pedestrians are relatively a small part of the image, the dataset is prone to imbalance problems. This issue needs to be addressed by various methods, such as simple argumentation, adjusting the loss function, and so on. The code set has a total of 18 classes, each farming the targets in the dataset. We select a total of 66,808 pieces of personal data and iterated these labels for model training. Moving on the next part, the network model for fast and accurate pedestrian detection, we choose a single-stage YOLO model compared to YOLO ULV1 and ULV2. ULV3 is better suited for detecting pedestrian in multi-target and multi-feature. The ULV3 model unless multi-level feature expansion and future fusion machines to open comprehensive information about the image, which improves the accuracy of the predation detection. Additionally, the use of more convolution layer and residual blocks in the network structure improves the future extension process and enhance detection accuracy. Furthermore, the addition of a large number of batch normalization layers after the conclusional layers or filling connected layers and before the activation function makes the network more stable and improves the training effect. Finally, use the future dynamic network as the backbone network allows for effective handling of features and different selects and enable future function, which future improves the detection performance. The loss function used in ULV3 is the sum of three loss functions: the loss function of the box, the loss function of object confidence, and the loss function of class. The weight constant lambda determines whether the symbol is positive. We use the processing recall F means and mean range processing as accuracy limiter for the model. The result shows that the weight fields opted for training with ULV3 network were relatively stable. ULV3 model to train the data and the results are shown in the following table. And this is building the system. We should finish two parts. Set threshold to select the confidence range for the test result. Set the threshold to determine if the target has been detected. In conclusion, we implemented a pedestrian detection system based on ULV3 model using Python. The system accuracy identified pedestrian in picture or video has practical application in intelligent driving, intelligent video surveillance, human behavior and other fields. Thank you for listening to my report.
Thank you very much for your presentation. I have a little questions. What framework did you use for implement these methods, or you use only already prepared methods? What is framework, Python framework did you use?
Sorry, Professor, I don't catch your question. Can you repeat it again?
Do you know what is framework? Framework. PyTorch, maybe in Python.
We use the PyCharm.
PyCharm. Yeah. Okay. Did you compare result of your version 3 algorithm and another algorithm? I mean, value of quality measures. Did you compare quality measures of work, your algorithm and another algorithm? Yes, you you evaluate only only YOLO version 3, yes, and
Yeah,
another
yeah.
algorithm you
Ignore it.
yeah, you ignore it. Yeah.
Yeah, we just use the YOLO v3 and we try to use the YOLO v5, but it don't give us good results. So we decided to use YOLO v3 finally. Yeah.
In future, we recommend you expand your experiment and add to your evaluation test another algorithm, state-of-the-art algorithm in computer vision. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much for your
Okay,
presentation.
thank you, Professor.
Computer vision based, да?
Yes, the next presentation is Leo G, computer vision based license plate recognition technology.
Знаете, что
Yes, please stop share screen. Не мы. Hello. Share screen, please. Your report.
Turn on your mic, please. We cannot hear you. Hello.
Sorry. Connect your microphone. Connect microphone.
Hello, hello.
Sorry, can you power on your microphone? Yes, microphone.
Press the button microphone.
Не может включить, у него какая-то проблема.
Yeah. In this, okay, we will wait.
Hello?
Yeah.
Do you hear me?
Yes, yes. Begin, please.
Wait a moment. Okay. Good afternoon, distinguished professor. We are the 10th group. The member of our group are Liu Jie, Zhang Chenxi, Li Zhuo. And our supervisor is Professor Ivan. And my name is Li Zhuo. I'm the reporter. And our subject is computer vision-based license plate recognition technology. Next, I will start my report. This is contact. The first one is abstract. And in recent years, the development of deep learning has not only improved the level of image recognition, but also accelerated the progress of related technologies in the field of computer vision. In today's rapidly developing automotive industry, The number of car ownership is increasing significantly year by year, and the traditional vehicle management and traffic operation methods are facing huge pressure and challenges. In order to solve the above problems, automatic vehicle license plate recognition technology has come into being, and then social significance. And in this paper, we will build an OpenCV project that can use capture car images for license plate recognition, and we choose to use car license plates from the city of Yan'an to verify the accuracy of the experiment. And moving on to the third one. Moving on to the technical and data science we used for this experiment. We choose the OpenCV model to implement image processing, feature detection and extraction, target tracking and object recognition, and facing recognition and experience recognition, and video processing, and so on. And the training data sets we use is this one public data set with about 10,000 images, including images of numbers, capital letters, and abbreviations of Chinese provinces. And then our overall design solution is to use the physical knowledge of OpenCV to pre-process the image, find the relevant contours, and then perform license plate prediction recognition by template matching. Firstly, graphics processing operations using OpenCV. Secondly, license plate outline extraction. Finally, positioning license plate recognition. And then next is our programming section. Step 1, load the image and process the image using the solver operator to detect the edges of the image as shown in the figure. And step 2, read the template field and read the templates under the template field. And step 3, contour detection of the image. And step 4, calculate the outline size of the license plate and locate it to the plate. And then step 5, using template matching on the license plate to obtain the license plate characters and then recognize them. The picture on the top right shows the recognized license plate number and print out the result as Shanxi G21526. And where the picture on the left shows the vehicle picture marked with the recognized license plate number. And finally, these are the basic context of our experiment. In this paper, a license plate recognized system is proposed and designed based on computer vision processing algorithm using OpenCV tools as a development platform. However, there are still shortcomings in the license plate recognition method, such as limitations and false detection rate of the method that using license plate features to locate and segment them, and incorrectly recognizing them as the firstly checked area when segmenting characters. The finger shows our field case. And my report is over. Thank you, Professor. Do you have any question?
Yes. Thank you very much. We have a few questions. Please mute. Yeah, and you comment. Okay, can I ask the question about the performance of your algorithm? Is it possible for your algorithm to perform in real time?
Yes, Professor. It's okay.
Okay. Thank you. Very interesting. The next presentation is about detection of green walnut trees. Okay, please.
Hello, Professor. This time our team did deep learning based on UV7. I am Liu Yanhao, the respondent for this project, and I will report on it. The name of the project we worked on is detection of green walnut trees using improved deep learning models. This report divided into 5 parts, including introduction, data, experiments, and discussion, result, and conclusion. The first part in introduction. I want to introduce the background and the significance. The use of robots for fruit picking is one application of artificial intelligence in agriculture. With the help of AI-powered robots, farmers can improve the efficiency and the accuracy of fruit harvesting. Unlike human labor, robots do not get tired or make mistakes due to figure out lack of attention. They can work consistently for long hours, picking fruits with high precision and care. This reduces the damage to fruits during harvesting and improves the quality of the yield. This technology can benefit the agricultural industry by reducing labor costs, increasing increasing productivity and improving the quality of the harvest. Next, in significance, the walnut is an important cash crop that is widely consumed and consumed around the world. However, the color of the green walnuts is similar to that of the leaves under the field conditions, and the characteristic of green walnuts is high, making it difficult for computer to recognize them. Therefore, studying this model can enable robots to accurately identify green walnuts in orchards, which can further improve the efficiency of orchard work. Next, I'd like to introduce this set. In this part, we collect 515 images of green walnuts for its dataset. The data used for green walnuts are captured using a smartphone under field construction at the orchard, located in Lantian, Xi'an, China. To enhance the richness and the size of the image database, the study amplifies the image using the method in Python image library. The study used PIT to process the dataset in various forms. The next image display is result of expanding one of the image dataset. We enhance the image from 550 to 11,550. Moving on, the next part is parliament and discussion. This image display is the result of expanding one of the image datasets. First, when the walnuts were ripe, take the two groups of picture of the green walnut in the orchard and the original image data. Second, the two groups of image data were grouped in the same way to maintain the same aspect ratio and were saved as 900 and multiply 1,920 pieces. Third, using LEMI to manually announce the two groups of data. Fourth, using the data aggregation for two groups. Fifth, train the data using different models. Each model trained 3,000 epoch. Sixth, test the model after training and see the result field. Train other models. Seventh, compared with the data after the test and using the width of training to detect the image of the second groups and output the detection result. Finally, get the ordination detection model. The following image shows a network model for ULV transformer context. We add the context model in the backbone of the ULV and ULV7 and add the transformer in the neck of the ULV7. By enhancing the future expression quality of the model through these two models, the detection performance of the model can be improved. The next part is the result. First is the table and the inclusion and use the evolution index to assess the detection performance of the model. This method helps to measure the effect and accuracy of model in detecting object. Then the table shows the different model detection results. Compared with the evolution math, the ULV transformer context is the best. After that, the first image is original image. Then we use the data aggregation in the images, and the third image is the detection results. In conclusion, we made 3 contributions to this study. First, a novel image dataset for detecting walnut on trees are constructed, which containing 5,050 images and controlling walnuts. There are more than 3,000 walnut objects in the dataset, which can be used for further research in the field. Second, a novel walnut detection model named ULV7 transformer connext is proposed, which integrate into network models, transformer and connext in ULV7 framework to enhance the future reproducibility. Third, extensive experiments are concluded to confirm the effectiveness of the proposable ULV7 transformer connext model in detecting green walnuts, compared with the existing object detection model, which could potentially benefit farmers and other stakeholders in the walnut industry. Thank you for listening my report.
For your interesting presentation.
Thank you for listening my report.
Yeah, your topic is very interesting, and our faculty developed smart farming and smart agriculture scientific area, and we have different interesting solution for process agricultural field. I have a few questions. First question is about your novel data set. I correctly understand that this data set is own. Yeah.
Yes.
You take photos with using your smartphone. Yeah.
Yes.
And second question is about augmentation images, augmentation your data set. Did you apply augmentation process for expand of your data set? Because in a pure version of data set, your data set consists of only 500 images. But if you apply augmentation procedure, you can get more images. Did you apply?
We use the
augmentation. Do you know what is augmentation process? Augmentation.
We use the Python image library. Yes.
Usually, this process integrate in pre-processing process of image for expand total number of image in dataset. You didn't apply, yeah? If you didn't apply, we recommend apply different techniques of augmentation process for expand your data set, and I think that you can give more precision, more accuracy result using your solution. Thank you. The next presentation is default AI-based model of online opinion dissemination.
Hello, Professor. Can you listen to me? Can you hear me?
Please begin
Okay.
the presentation.
Hello, Professor. I'm the reporter Ma Zhiwei from Yan'an University in China. The title of my report is a diffuse AI-based model of online opinion determination. Next, I will explain this paper from the following 5 aspects. Firstly, the background and current situation of the research. The diffuse model is a classical opinion exchange model proposed by Diffuse and his colleagues in 2001. In their research, they proposed that interaction between 2 individuals would occur only if the difference between their opinions was less than a predefined value of delta. Formula at team T. Individual N and individual J are randomly selected from N individuals with opinion values of OI and OJ, respectively the following formula. In this formula, mu represents the degree of compromise, which belongs to the left open and right closed interval of 0 to 0.5, and delta represents the trust interaction threshold, which belongs to the open interval of 0 to 1. However, in real-world society, difference in education level, social environment, and access to knowledge can also lead to difference in individuals' understanding of public opinion events. Individuals with different levels of understanding of an event will receive different information after recovering new information. People will have a processing, storing, filtering, and applying the information. Therefore, we added 2 new variables to our study: the degree of an individual's understanding of public opinion called information quantities. Quantity represent as I, and the level of cognitive ability in understanding information represent as gamma. When opinion exchange occurs, the individual's information quantity is inversely proportional to their compromise level. The formula shown below. And figure 3 illustrates how the compromise influence function changes with different values of cognitive ability. The following formula was derived to calculate the opinion value at team T plus 1. The main measures used in the study were literature analysis and the simulation experiment. Next, we compare the opinion function groups of the diffuse model and the diffuse 1 model with the same delta value. First, we show the group at delta equals 0.1. Then at delta equals 0.2. And finally, at delta equals 0.5. Based on the comparison groups, we can observe that the number of opinion clusters formed in the diffuse I model is still inversely proportional to the trust threshold sigma, indicating that the trust threshold plays a decisive role in the outcome of opinion evaluation in the diffuse I model. The opinion first quickly reach a small range, and then the range gradually becomes similar and fairly convergent, which is consistent with the real-world opinion evaluation process. In this simulation experiment, to simplify the model, we assumed that the cognitive ability of each individual in the population was the same. We set 7 parameters for a public opinion event. We made the diffuse I model uniformly consider the group opinion evaluation process at different information levels. We plan the distribution of information amount from 0 to 0.5 and observe that the long knowledge level group with less understanding of the event could update their opinions and reach a consensus in a shorter time. When facing sudden public opinion events, leaders and experts need to play a good leading role to help the public reach a consensus as soon as possible. This study led to several experimental conclusions. Here are the relevant reference for this research. That's the end of our group's report. Thank you, Professor, for your listening. And please give my team criticism and correction.
Thank you very much. I have a few questions. Did you try apply your model to analysis of real user discussion or user opinion in a social network?
Sorry, I didn't catch your question.
You have a model, yes? Did
Yes.
you try apply to real case, real social event in a social network? In social network, for example, you have anything event or user discussion in social network, and try apply your model and try to find influencers or understand main things in a user discussion in social network. How you test? How did you test your model?
How did you test?
Or evaluate your model?
Sorry, please.
Did you test your model
in real social?
Yes, in real data, on real data. For example, in social network. Okay, thank you. You can try. We recommend you try apply your solution in real data. For example, you can investigate real social event and estimate user opinion in social network by this event. Okay, it's our recommendation. In future work.
In future work.
Okay, the next one is. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The next one is Hua Qitian study of the optimization problem of grouping batches of square shaped parts.
Okay, Professor, сейчас, секунду.
О, вы по-русски разговариваете, да?
Немного говорю.
Давайте по-русски тогда.
Хорошо. No. Speak English, of course.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Zhang Ruizhou. I'm a student of the Yan'an University and North Korea State University. I'm delighted to have the opportunity to report today. My report today will focus on study of the optimization problem of the grouping batches of square-shaped parts. I will start my report with the following these 6 parts.
Share screen, please, of your presentation.
To begin with, let's take a look at the background.
Sorry. Share screen. Share your screen. Share your presentation.
I already did. You didn't say?
No.
Now can you say?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Nice.
Okay.
Okay, one again. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Zhang Ruizhou. I'm the Yan'an University student and North Korea State University. I'm delighted to have the opportunity to report today. My report today will focus on the study of the optimization problem of the grouping batches of square-shaped parts. I will start my report with the following 6 parts. To begin with, let's take a look at the background and scientifics of the selected topic. The square pieces group batches optimization problem is a problem of the meaning the remaining space by the playing square pieces of the different sizes and shapes on a large square sheet as efficiently as possible in a certain production process. It is an NP hard problem because the computational complexity of the storing the square pieces group battery optimization problem increases. Expressionally, when the number of the pieces increases, the problem has a lot of appliances in many phrases, such as that the material processing, logistics and derivation, and detected clothes. Solving the problem can save the production cost, the material loss, and improve efficiency. The next part is about model acception. In this part, we can easily to say this it's a really best situation because it's we need to easy for later the we need to do for the later graduation. In the next part, it's about symbol selection. In there, you can very easily to see how the symbol we already use and give your explains in this part. The next part is about model building and theory. research the material theory to solve this area utilization problem. We developed a mixed interlearning program model. In this part, you can very easily to see that what kind of model we will use. We already did the first step is make the center point. It's use this geofacing detection. And this next step is about the overlapping part detection. This part is to expand and show you how we did in this this part. The relationship between the point P and the graph can be joined according to the following mathematical equation. The next step is also about overlap detection. Check whatever the line to be lined up interface with the line already lined up. In this part, in the detection, two lines overlapping is not a constant to instruction. Only one endpoint on the other line is not considered to interested. Only sort the instruction. For example, if this line at E and another instead by the another line L2, it can be translated into the following mathematical equation. If the finance concretion and the two lines are each the other through the interstration, then the two graphs and be joined to overlap. The other ways are just that two lines and acceptance of the other case. If the vertex and the center point of the graph and tested past step 1 of the line of the graph is test past step 2, then it means that the graph didn't overlap. So we set up the model to solving this this problem. The first model we use that graded algorithm for solving this model. And using this area formula, the area utilization of the track can be represented as follows. It's a second model we use. It's a table search of the model theory. Table search is an artificial interface generator. From the above experiment, we already know that the direction and the processing of cutting square pieces cannot be blended. Otherwise, even after cutting, the full plate will make it more irregular, and many groups it will appear in the middle of this plate. Although the table search is slower than the graded algorithm, the internalization rate of the sheet is greatly improved. And with this increase of the number of the iteration and the increase of the problem size, the table search will play a better advantage. So in the next part, we will analyze about advantage and disadvantage about this model. advantage of this model, of course, the graduate agility is applicable to computational optimization problem. It can be where it's the certain computation can be obtained at each set of this problem. And it also has different types of the problem size that can be solved by the compare with these two origins. But it also still have the disadvantage of this model. Graded ologists can't get the optimal solution from this global practice style. And using this forbidden search cutting square is easily to fall into this search loop, resulting in the long computation time. It will waste a lot of time. In the end of this part is constellation and the future of work. In this paper, we can consider the use of the platet as rule for square products in the manufacture of the square produce in order to improve the utilization rate of this plant. The problem of this optimization is the plant layout needs to be solved. In this paper, the crossing mixed integer programming model is the development of this problem of how to optimize the cutting of this plant, and two ologies, graded ologies, and forbidden search are used to solve this problem with the max intersection rate as the optimization object. So in our future about work, we can continue to consider the number of cutting stage not more than 3, and the exact layout of each part of the same material items, and can only use the same pieces of sheet for layout. The total numbers of this item is each part can't exceed the limit, and the sum of the area cannot exceed the limit. In the case of meeting the above requirement, so that its amount of original sheet and a sheet as little as possible, that's at the biggest the unsaid rate. So that's all. Thanks for your attention. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them.
Thank you very much, John. I have questions about I have question about detalization of your future work. How are you going to implement and use framework for realization of your solution?
About the answeration for the future work, we will use the Python or Java make the code to use more the data and into this code. We will control this in the computer, I think so.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
The next one is the quantitative research on big data of stock based on the bias. Ren Yufan. Ren Yufan.
Это час-полтора.
Please share screen.
Я если позвоню.
And presentation.
Для вас электронный счет, наверное.
Я включу.
You can start.
Hello, Professor. Could you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to my presentation. First of all, let me thank you all for coming here today. I'm delighted to stand here and have this chance to share our project with you. Now let's get started. Our topic is called the qualitative research on big data of sorts. Based on the bills below, I will introduce it from 5 parts, like background and significance of the topic. Game design, algorithm selection, overall system design, feasibility analysis, and field research. Let's start with the background and the significance of the topic. Modern life is fast-paced due to the impact of the epidemic on people's life. Pressure is also rising. Many people help to raise the pressure of life by making money through stock trading. Quantitative trading refers to the respect of human subjective judgment with advanced mathematical methods. The use of computers technique from historical data to select a variety of high probability events that can bring excise returns to formulate strategies gradually reduce the impact of investor systems factors. Our goal is design and build a quantitative trading platform based on the divisions right algorithm, the construction of quantitative trading platform belongs to a typical front end and back end spirit project, which realize the display of front end data update, which promote the operation of use and can help shareholders predict risk in a wealth within a certain region. In this project, the key algorithm is BERS. What is BERS? BERS is a measure of the degree to which the stack price device from the moving averages systematically. When the stock price device from the moving average system, the change of stock fields movements is likely to reverse. When the average gradually turns from the bottom to the rise and the price breaks the averages line from below the averages line, it is buy single. Although the price fell below the averages line, it immediately tried to the average line, and which point the average line still maintained an upward trend, and a buy single was taken for this purpose. Considering buying this stock is not recommended. Part 4. The system framework is shown in the following figure. The quantitative trading system is divided into 3 models. The back-end system includes functions such as stock recommendation, stock data, acquisition, data analysis, and so on. The back-end is based on Spring Boot, Mandates, and other technologies for basis development. On the front end is development based on VOE, and the anchor component libraries is on finally pages use Hadoop components for big data analysis, in which HDFS is used to store data. MapReduce is used to data operation, and the deviation risk is calculated to recommendation transitions in order to improve station performance. Reduce is used as a couch, and at the same time, the Swagger inverse is integrated for testing to improve system availability. The functions and implementations of each layer are described below. The precisions layer achieves the front-end display with HTML and HS, and interacts with the business logic layer, use JS and Ajax. The business logic mainly use the data provided by to share survivor and MapReduce for Hadoop platform, and achieve the algorithm. On the data layer through the use of for Hadoop platform and MySQL database, where SQL statements are defined in the MyBatis mapper. Picture 5 for possibility analysis technology possibility. The possibility analysis of the project is described from the from the following 3 parts. Technology feasibility. Ensure whether the exciting technology can save the development project. The system is developed in Java and IDEA, VS Code, MySQL, DSpace, and Hadoop single node environment are used as development tools. It is technology feasible to achieve the aspiration of the front end and back end projects through coordination and cooperation between the back-end projects and the projects. Legal feasibility. The project platform only provides use with strangers, provides use with suggested resource plans, and does not involve use capital operations, so the projects feel complex with the relevant provisions of the law. Part 6. Users can choose to create an account, set their own password, log in the creativity, trade platform through the account, select different models and different operations, and can acquire the information of every stock the projector generally implements the following functions, including the home page, login page, and factor research page. The system can analyze text every day, use HDFS to provide storage for data, use MapReduce for data attribution, and recommend transition by calculating the divider rate. I'm now near the ending of my presentation. Thank you for listening. It is my pleasure to introduce me to this project. Thank you all.
Thank you for your interesting presentation. I have a few questions about future work. Are you going to integrate your solution in a real system in industrial or not? Are you going to integrate your solution in industrial project?
Sorry. Yes. We system can reading.
And second question is about open source of your project. Your project is your project open source, and do you have maybe a link in a GitHub repository with your project or not? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Is your project open source?
Yes, yes.
Maybe did you publish or submit open source code in GitHub? Do you know what is GitHub? GitHub service. No,
GitHub.
Yes, yes. Do you have publication of your source code in GitHub?
Oh no,
No?
we haven't.
Okay, maybe you can publish and give reaction and discuss by your solution. Thank you very much for your presentation. And the next one is analysis and identification of unknown class components based on data mining.
Hello everyone. Hello everyone, professors. I'm glad to have the opportunity to attend the CPS conference and speak here. I'm the speaker of our group and I'm responsible for the overall structure of the paper. Today, we have to give a presentation over analysis and identification of unknown class components based on data mining. The members of our group are Wang Bingyu, Qiao Xinqi, Su Ruixing, and Zhu Meng. Next, let me introduce the outline of my presentation. It will be divided into 5 parts: background, identification, data pre-processing, conclusion, and establish a model. First, the original data set is divided into high potassium glass and light barrier glass. What we need to do is classify unknown glass into 2 categories through data mining methods. Background is ancient glass is extremely successful to weathering due to the influence of the barrier environment, and during the weathering process, a large amount of exchange between internal elements and environmental elements leads to changes in its composition ratio, which can affect the correct judgment of its category. For this reason, we set up models such as decision tree classification, cluster analysis, and random forest to analyze and study the composition of ancient glass products. Regarding the basic background, we need to understand the main components of glass and the element it contains. Before prediction, we should process the original data, eliminate data which doesn't meet requirements, quantify texture data into numbers. This table is a result of quantitative processing. Add 0 to missing values. This table represents the result of adding 0 to the missing values of these 4 sets of data. Then we established a decision tree to divide the data into 2 categories. Set the ratio of training set to test set to 7:3 and classify whether it is weathered or not based on the content of lead oxide. The result of decision tree classification is both types of glass are classified according to their lead oxide content. The K-means model was established to select appropriate chemical components for subclassification. We chose the Euclidean distance calculation formula to calculate the distance. Calculate the distance of each object to the center point of the new class and regroup according to the principle of nearest. This is the formula. At the same time, the significant characteristics of high potassium glass were obtained by principal component analysis. The result is that silica is the significant characteristic, so silicon dioxide is selected as a basic for the subclassification of high potassium glass. In the same way, lead oxide was selected as a significant element of lead barrier glass for subclassification. After applying the K-means model, the accuracy of the model is obtained by Pareto error, as can be seen From the table, this clustering model has a better effect on high potassium glass, where the clustering effect of lead barrier glass is not completely accurate. Finally, based on the decision tree, the random forest model is established to predict the unknown glass, and the unknown type of glass is classified into two categories. Set the proportion of random forest algorithm as 0.7 to test the importance of features. The results predicted by random forest are shown in the table. It is known that glass samples of unknown categories are successfully classified by random forest model, in which A1, A6, and A7 are high potassium glass, and A2, A3, A4, A5, and A8 are light barrier glass. This is our summary of the advantages and disadvantages of the whole study process. Number one is using clustering algorithms for modeling and performing sub-classification well. The model has high accuracy. Number two is in this paper effectively partition in components using decision tree models. And then in this paper, considering the relationship between variables, a random forest model is used to classify and partition unknown data, and there is no need to perform dimensionality reduction processing on the original data in the early stage. And the disadvantage is on the one hand, the analysis of data in small data sets has limitations which cannot guarantee good adaptability and accurately verify and universal applicability of the model. The second is insufficient consideration of the relationship between component content and weathering severity. That's all my presentation. Thanks for your listening.
Thank you very much. Can you show slide with the accuracy of your algorithm? Can you show, please, the slide of your presentation with the value of accuracy of your algorithm? Accuracy value.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yes.
This paper is the.
What is metrics? How did you calculate metrics?
Why all metrics 100%?
Yes. Now we see that that all metrics has maximum value 100%. How you can discuss it?
Yes. Okay. We use the k-means k. We use the model is the k-means, and then the obtain the accuracy.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your presentation. You can close. Okay. The next one is data-driven agriculture, data collection techniques in smart agriculture based on IoT and VSM.
Я думаю, их может не быть.
When F,
Они не прислали пути, их может не быть.
Руководитель лучше спросить, кто еще готов, потому что иначе...
Хорошо. The next one, study on coupling of ethanol to C4 olefins based on statistical analysis. Похожая презентация. Видать, у них там. Ага. Share full screen.
Dear teacher and classmates, good afternoon, everyone. Our group member have Xue Wenyuan, Zhou Qingqing, Wang Zheng, and Sun Qirui. The title of our report is Study on Coupling of analyzed carbon-4 olefins based on statistical analysis. Firstly, there is a table of contents section. We will divide the content of this report into 4 parts, and I will also expand them to you from these 4 parts. The first part is an analysis of the problem. We have divided it into 2 models to explain, namely research, background, and analyze. At the first, in this paper, the experimental conditions for the preparation of carbon-4 olefins by ethanol coupling are used to increase the yield of carbon-4 olefins. It is required to perform modeling statistics on the experimental results and give the optimal solution under the comprehensive analysis of the data of different methods of preparation and catalysis addition. The second part is analysis of the problem. It requires under the condition that the experimental data of various schemes are complete. From the perspective of temperature, the effects of different temperatures on ethanol conversion and the carbon-4 olefin selectively were studied. Establish a coordinate system with changing temperature as the x-axis and conversion as the y-axis, and draw an XY scatter diagram to visually represent the linear change trend of the 2 dependent variables when the temperature changes, and quantitatively analyze the important point in the image. As shown in this picture, we have drawn the rate of this chemical reaction with different catalysis as 350 degrees Celsius. Obviously, the reaction of carbon-4 is optimal when using A1 catalyst. The second part is research objectives. Under different catalyst combinations and temperature conditions, analyze the influence of ethanol conversion and the carbon-4 olefin selectivity, and under what circumstances the carbon-4 olefin yield will reach the highest. The third part is to establish a model, and we will also divide it into these 4 parts for everyone to explain. The first part, model assumptions, assume that ethanol conversion and the selectivity to carbon-4 olefins vary as a linear function over the reaction temperature. The influence of other products on the conversion rate of ethanol and the selection of carbon-4 olefins is negligible. If you want to establish a model, you cannot do without creating a table to help analyze. And the meaning section analyze these 4 contents. We can see this part divided into 4 parts, named temperature, ethanol, olefin, and GAT. The meaning explain it. The third part lists squares methods in order to study effects of different temperatures on ethanol conversion and carbon-4 olefin selectivity. First, according to the data given in the question, establish an XY scatter diagram when the temperature changes. Mark the important data point in the diagram and use the least square method. We will get the temperature change on the ethanol conversion rate and linear expression for carbon-4 olefin selectivity. A series of data to be short is divided into 2 independent parts by 1-pass sorting. It can be assumed that the data on the left is smaller than the key data in the middle, and the data on the right is larger than the key data in the middle. Then, according to this method, the 2 parts of data are quickly sorted, and the O sorting process is carried out in a recursive manner, so that the entire data becomes an ordered sequence. The 4-part research data and results. It can be seen from this picture that we bring the corresponding data in Appendix 1 into the least square formula, and we can get the expression of ethanol conversion rate is Y equal to 0.1544x minus 3.242. The expression for carbon-4 olefin selectivity is Y equal to 0.3332x minus 84.083. What you will see next is a bar chart we have created for the reaction rate of catalyst under different temperature conditions, which makes the data comparison very intuitive and obvious. in the data analysis section, we can see that this table lists the best solution for different temperature, which solves the problem. According to the meaning of the original question, assuming that there is no temperature limit, we will directly apply the formula here. Since there are 21 schemes in 5.1, it is enough to use the formula code 21 times. The final result is the yield of C4 olefins is the yield of carbon 4 olefins is the highest when the temperature reaches 450 degrees under the combinations of A3 catalyst. The answer is 0.542241. Thank you for your watching. That's all.
Thank you for your presentation. Dear colleagues, do you have a question? No.
Температура очень высокая. Это почему реакционная смесь имеет такую высокую температуру? Непонятно, вообще нигде не было так написано. Reaction temperature is very high. That's why
you can.
Давай я попробую. I am assistant of professor. My name is Yura. Why you have so high temperature of the reaction, and that means the catalyst go off from the reaction zone, and this reaction can stopped and dropped this catalysis at all. Why you this catalysis все-таки at all provide and so high temperature?
Mr. Professor, we think that at the beginning, this report, the data of this report is given by Excel, and this report in fact, it has basic data in our China's website, so that we can get this data from our China website. So we use it to solve this problem, and
I see that is the theoretical data. Yes. Not experimental. It's only theoretical.
This is experimental. It's a true data from the experiment.
It means I see. Okay.
Thank you. The next one is young lifetime optimization in VSNs. Lifetime optimization. Is anybody here? Okay, so the last one, research on the problem of fire alarm system. В прошлом году был. Алексей,
Okay. So, Chang Jai, are you here?
Is anybody who can present research on the problem of fire alarm system here? No? Глянешь в это, участник. Вот. Yes. Okay, great.
Turn on your mic, please. We cannot hear you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon, professors. I'm Pu Yuxi from Yan University. I'm honored to participate in this meeting and report on behalf of the group. The topic of our group's paper is the research of fire alarm system. I will report the paper from the following 5 parts. The first part is a research background. The second part is to introduce the problem. The third part is a situation hypothesis. The fourth part is a problem analysis and solution. The fifth part is a summary and prospect. Firstly, the research background is introduced. With the rapid development of economy and urban construction, urban high-rise, underground buildings, and large-scale comprehensive buildings are increasing day by day, and fire hazards are also greatly increased. The number of the fires and the losses caused by them are increasing year by year. The industrial and civil buildings, hotels, laboratories, scientific research, and commercial departments, fire alarm systems has become necessary devices. The fire alarm system plays an extremely important role in the safety of modern buildings. This paper evaluates the various types of fire detector components on the market to help the government select reliable fire detector tips. The automatic fire alarm system is composed of the trigger device, the fire alarm device, a linkage output device, and other auxiliary function devices. It has the function of converting the physical quantities such as smoke, heat, and flame generated by combustion into electrical signals through a fire detector at the beginning of the fire and transmitting them to the fire alarm controller, and at the same time notifying the entire floor evacuation in the form of sound or light. The trigger device of the automatic fire alarm system is also the fire detector and manual alarm buttons that we often see. The common fire detectors include smoke detector, temperature detector, etc. The sensitivity and reliability of the detector are the key parameters that the detector needs to be balanced. The second part is the introduction of the problem. Based on the research on the background, the evaluation method is divided into 2 problems. The first problem is to use reliability and failure rate to evaluate various types of components on the market to help the government select more reliable fire detector tips. The second problem is to select some jurisdiction as parameters when a certain type of component in a British jurisdiction sends an alarm information, it can better judge whether it is a false alarm. The next part is the situation hypothesis. Firstly, it is assumed that under the same fire location, when the circuit connecting the detector and the number of the detector are the same, the analysis of whether it is false alarm column is divided into the following 3 tips. The first is the case of oh no. The number of the fear alarms is large. The second case is all one time is real fear, which is recorded as one time. The third is that there are both no and one real fear, and the number of fear alarms in the no case is larger. Secondly, this paper assumes that parameter false alarm rate is more important than the failure rate, and gives the false alarm rate to failure rate a weight of 3:1. The fourth part is a problem analysis and solution. This topic analysis the above two questions as follows. For the first question, this topic first analysis and summarize the situation of whether it is a real alarm, and then screens out when the number of multiple fear detectors in a building is the same as the loop number, and these detectors all emit fear alarm signals. It is considered to be corresponding dates in the same fear accident. According to hypothesis 1, the number of times is counted, and the result of comprehensive calculation is 487. Then the analytic hierarchy model is used. Reliability and failure rate are two reverse factors, while false alarm rate and reliability are negatively correlated. Therefore, it can be transformed into the relationship between false alarm rate and failure rate. That is, the lower the false alarm rate and failure rate, the better the component performance. The judgment matrix of target layer and the criterion layer is obtained as shown in the table. It can be seen from the table that the weight of false alarm rate to false rate is 1 to 3. Failure rate is more important, so the failure rate is used as the basis for reliability judgment. The eigenvalue is obtained by running the code use PyCharm. The eigenvalue is this. The eigenvalue is this. The feature vector is this. And this is the result of consistency test. According to the analysis of the lower the failure rate and the higher the reliability. The reliability and failure rate are used to evaluate various types of components on the market to help the government select a more reliable type of fear detector. Point type smoke detector is more reliable. For the second question, determine whether the alarm information is a false alarm. This topic uses the data envelopment model. First, build a bridge grouping table, statistics, and screening of the parameters of each bridge. First, find out the corresponding number of fear alarms and the number of real alarms, and calculate the authenticity of the alarm. Then The regression model is used to predict the probability that the alarm signal is a real fear, and the evaluation results are evaluated in a combination with various types of components. From the proportion of the number of fear alarms, the frequency of false alarms is no. The frequency of false alarms is real fear. The frequency of false alarms is yes. The proportion of the number of failures, the false ratio, and the probability of real fear. These parameters are analyzed for each bridge. After selecting the appropriate parameters, the probability of real fear is calculated, and the authenticity of point tip smoke detector used by fear bridge D is here. The last part is summary and outlook. The advantages of this paper are to use reliability and failure rate to evaluate various types of components, to help the government select more reliable fear detector tips, to establish a hierarchical analysis model, to systematically evaluate various components, to organically combine qualitative methods with quantitative methods, to decompose complex systems, to mathematics and systematize people's thinking process, to facilitate people's acceptance, and to transform multi-objective, multi-criteria decision-making problems that are difficult to quantify into multi-level, single-objective problems. The design using PyCharm and Jupyter Notebook has solved the model well and gives the optimal solution. The real ratio of fear can also help the fear bridge to effectively want to avoid problems such as waste of resources and improper control. The disadvantage of this paper is that model can only be extracted from the original scheme and cannot provide a new scheme from decision makers. This paper is based on an automatic judgment model, linear regression, data development analysis, and other methods to determine whether it is false alarm when a certain type of component in a bridge air sends out alarm information, which has broad application prospects in terms of optimization data development analysis, and rank sum ratio comprehensive evaluation method can be selected to analyze the comprehensive management levels of each fear bridge and provide improvement plans. That's all. Thank you, Professor.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you very much for your presentation. This was the last presentation for today for this section. I'm going to conclude our work, and let me give to say a few words to Vice Dean of Yan'an University.
Yes.
谁说话的？
哎，崔老师啊，
哎，这啥时候？
哎，你的视频呢？
好的。
哎，你好。
关一下你们那边的麦。哎，好的。崔老师，您说。
好，那个尊敬的伊万教授啊，我看见了。尊敬的俄罗斯圣彼得堡国立大学和哈尔滨工业大学的各位教育同仁，亲爱的同学们，大家下午好。
Я перевожу. Протяган, я всегда сказал, что 我来翻译。崔老师，您一句我一句啊，可以吗？崔老师？喂？
哎，好。
我来翻译啊。您一句我一句啊。
哎，好，我停了你就翻吧。
啊，行，好的。
尊敬的伊万、萨莎啊，圣彼得堡国立大学和哈尔滨工业大学的各位教育同仁，还有亲爱的同学们，大家下午好。会议已经持续比较长的时间了，那么我这里就代表延安大学和延安大学书记学院，简单发个言。李英。
Окей, я перевожу. Уважаемый профессор Иван и Саша сан СПБГУ и тоже Технологический политехнический университет Харбина. Уважаемые дорогие студенты, добрый день. Наша конференция длилась долгое время, и я просто хочу рассказать от имени университета Ян и университета Янского и факультета технологии и математики Янского университета несколько слов. Окей.
俄罗斯圣彼得堡国立大学这个 CPS 会议已经举办了很多年了，那么我们延安大学参与其中也已经有4、5年了，非常感谢我们参与到这个会议，因为它对我们的人才培养和拓展我们教育的国际化视野都起到了非常大的作用。那么为此，我们多年来这几年也就是说一直要坚持参与到这个会议当中，今后还要一直要做下去，只要我们有机会。那么这里我要表达的第一层意思就是感谢俄罗斯圣彼得堡国立大学，也感谢国内其他的兄弟高校，感谢所有的老师还有参与其中的同学们。李英。
Окей, наша конференция CPS уже очень много лет, более 50 или 60, более 40 или 50 лет. Но наш университет Янск тоже участвовали на конференции уже несколько лет, более 5. Очень благодарю вас за приглашение, и мы участвовали в тот на конференции. Это эта конференция очень поможет нам для того, чтобы найти международные хорошие таланты. И мы очень хотим в будущем продолжать участвовать на конференции CPS. Здесь я бы хотел пригласить первым это СПБГУ в России. И потом хочу благодарить вузы, братья вузы в Китае. И третий благодарить всем преподавателям, профессорам и студентам, которые участвуют на конференции. 好的。
我要表达的第二层意思是，也是我今天受学校委托，要说的，就是，我们延安大学非常期待今后能够以更加积极的方式参与到CPS 这个会议当中，比如，在我们中国延安 组织这个会议线下。那么我们愿意做更多一些努力，把圣彼得堡国立大学的老师们，还有其他兄弟院校的科技同仁们邀请到中国的这个革命圣地延安，让我们能够共同在延安举办这样一次会议。那么今天我也是受学校的委托，这里呢先表个态，后面呢我们也通过理音吧，向我们圣彼得堡国立大学表达一下，具体我们怎么样去谋划明年的在延安看是否能够开这样一个线下的会议，期待这样一个想法能够早日实现。
Окей. Сегодня я пришел здесь еще причиной того, что наш ректор нашего университета хочет пригласить вас визит в Ян, и мы бы хотели пригласить вас не только визит в Ян, и в следующий год мы можем организовать такой офлайн митинг, совместной конференции в Ян, и Ян это столица эволюции в Китае. Это важный город и красивое место. И давайте организуем такую конференцию вместе. И сегодня мне поручение у университета и факультета. И я хотел бы, чтобы это ожидание было выполнено в кратчайшие сроки после того, как мы определим свое положение здесь. Спасибо большое. Все.
最后我看到萨莎老师和伊万老师那个新冠走了中国也没有新冠了。那么我这里也代表延安大学和我们延安大学书记学院欢迎也是邀请萨莎伊万以及其他的俄罗斯的朋友随时这个莅临延安大学交流访问
OK
欢迎
Окей. Сегодня очень рад видеть Саша, профессор Саша и Иван. Мы уже много лет хорошими друзьями. Сейчас в Китае уже нет ковида, поэтому русские ученые могут ехать в Китай без проблем. И мы уже готовы, ждем вас приехать. Добро пожаловать.
好，谢谢。
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Спасибо большое. Thank you very much. It is a great pleasure to collaborate with Yan'an University. We hope that we make a good project with this conference that you talked about, and in this famous year, it will be a great contribution from our side. Ли, переведешь?
Да, окей, хорошо. 就是说非常高兴能他刚才说的是刚没注意听，就是非常高兴那个就是能在未来访问中国，我们能在这个会议上去跟延安大学更多的合作。然后他好像还说谁能提示一下，跟崔老师说一下，我刚才没注意听，我以为是英语就不用翻了。就是他是表达了一种这个非常高兴和感激，而且要来，对这肯定是的。
В ближайшие сроки постараемся определиться.
Thank you. 好。
Thank you.
Thank
you. Сейчас. Микрофон включен, да? Okay, dear colleagues, thank you very much for participate today in this conference. Thank you, Dr. Lee, that you help us to organize this section.
It's my pleasure.
Yes, I hope that everything get useful information and useful comments from Dr. Ivan for their presentations. I hope that next year students from Yan'an and Harbin will participate as well. We are glad, and it is a pleasure to see all of you at our conference. Yeah, we're looking for PhD students from Harbin, from Yan'an University. You are welcome. So thank you very much for your hard work today. Now you can have a rest for today. So this is our conclusion. We finish our section, and we have industrial partner of this conference, and he will finish this section, give some ideas about collaboration, but in Russian, in Russian language. Please.
Okay, thank you very much. 非常感谢大家参与我们的会议，然后我们会议就到此结束了。Спасибо, дорогие, очень благодарю вас.
Еще не все.
Окей.
Еще одна речь. Еще одна речь. Значит, дорогие товарищи студенты, преподаватели, господа с китайской и с российской стороны. Все наши студенты, и китайские, и российские, показали достаточно высокий уровень взаимодействия друг с другом и достаточно высокий уровень докладов. Хотелось бы отдельно отметить большую работу научного руководства по внедрению прикладной математики в жизнь и китайской, и российской стороны. Если с китайской стороны доклады были все-таки более прикладные, то у нас они более были развивающие, более учебные. И мы понимаем, что каждый из них достоин похвалы за то, что он смог выступить на международной конференции, не терял мысль и не растекался мыслью по древу, был в состоянии логично изложить новую для себя область и, если возможно, то продемонстрировать некие практические навыки. Это хорошая сторона. Я еще могу сказать, что каждый из них научился находить и подмечать закономерности, которые раньше не были известны, даже те, которые не описаны в книгах, и правильно планировать эксперимент, комбинированный в том числе эксперимент, который не имеет физической подоплеки, и создавать правильные математически грамотные математические модели. Это я заметил, это абсолютно и у китайской стороны, и у нашей стороны одинаково. Значит, в целом я доволен уровнем докладов. Я приехал не зря, и многие вещи, которые я знал, как делаются, и участвовал в исследованиях и в Российской академии наук, и в других исследовательских институтах, я заметил, что здесь они продолжаются, пускай на абстрактных уровнях и моделях, но все равно они продолжаются и развиваются все дальше и дальше. То есть мы видим углубление знаний. Значит, надо отметить, что улучшаются сами информационные технологии, улучшается отображение информации, улучшается доведение информации до обучающихся. Это очень важная информация, потому что если у нас будут с вами черно-белые учебники в 21 веке и будут линии, которые мы не читаем с листа, то, соответственно, конечно, никто такое читать не будет. Нужна, конечно, геймификация, нужна, конечно, интерактивные карты взаимодействия. Мы с вами все-таки занимаемся искусственным интеллектом, и, может быть, он будет у нас встроен в каждую парту, в каждые очки, в каждый компьютер совсем-совсем скоро, как сейчас он наличествует в наших мобильных телефонах. Но самое интересное для меня было, что с китайской стороны были люди, которые уже интегрировали свои решения в готовые системы. Вот этого нам с вами не хватает сейчас. И, видимо, над этим еще надо работать. Но особенно достойна похвалы все равно система по распознаванию номеров. Это интересная работа, она сделана совместно. Интересный датасет по поводу состояния дел в сельскохозяйственных культурах, медицине сердца, я бы отдельно отметил. Отдельные исследования искусственного интеллекта в области государственного управления, автоматическое управление автомобилями вот-вот будет уже на нашей конференции, и оно должно быть отражено. Серьезные медицинские исследования, которые являются межпредметными, и здесь мы видим, что необходима коллаборация двух стран, для того, потому что сердце работает по-разному в разных странах, и люди разные в разных странах. Но между тем, открывая сердца друг другу в науке, мы всегда приходим к единому заключению, что математика едина, и этот единый язык должен объединять нас на предмет прогресса мира и развития всего человечества и прогресса состояния между странами. Поэтому есть проблема в создании неких хороших датасетов для обучения искусственного интеллекта. И это не наша проблема, это проблема глобальная. И для каждой инвестиционной задачи она должна быть поставлена и решена. Пускай даже отдельными серьезными исследованиями внутри ваших кафедр и даже нас, прикладных специалистов. Мы будем вместе с этим бороться. Есть у меня ряд исследований, которые, кстати, заглохли даже из-за того, что не было хороших датасетов. К сожалению, они нужны нашим всем странам, всем людям. Поэтому спасибо всем за совместную работу. Я надеюсь, что я вернусь на 55-ю конференцию и продолжу быть вашим технологическим спонсором. И также буду проводить мастер-классы. Всех приглашаю завтра на мастер-классы и на интернет-трансляцию для того, чтобы посмотреть на современные российские технологии, обменяться мыслями, показать, как защищаются бакалаврские работы, магистерские, докторские даже работы. Завтра будет уровня доктора наук работа и как это может быть применено к обучению наших студентов. Всех благодарю за внимание. Жду завтра на трансляции.
Спасибо. Переведет? Нет.
Окей, скоро перевожу. Я записал главные keywords 就是这样，就是这个教授为大家的这个会议做了一个全面的一个总结，从大家做的报告的主题到大家的内容上，他首先呢是非常感谢大家做出的新的研究工作，做出了很多很有趣的一些报告。然后尤其是一些在新的领域包括一些医学什么方面的他发现了一些很有趣的一些东西，而且这些东西是有些领域过去他们没有曾注意过研究过的东西，虽然这些研究并不是特别多但是他也看到了很多技术方面的总结，而且这些技术方面是应用到了一些实际的工程的系统当中。他觉得这个对解决现实意义很有重要意义他说了非常多，然后我就摘一下重要的一点。然后他说他也是非常欢迎大家将来来到俄罗斯来参加会议，来看一下俄罗斯的现代工业技术解决的问题，包括他现在也看到咱们这些技术呢是希望未来能运用到在俄罗斯这边，也希望把俄罗斯技术运用到在中国去。然后再一次的感谢大家感谢大家这个精彩的工作。Да, переводил. Ну, смысл? Да.
Да, спасибо. И у нас завтра последний день конференции, в рамках которого запланирован мастер-класс and organization of conference invite to master-class tomorrow. You can visit.
Хорошо, обязательно. Окей, of course. Окей, окей.
Всем.
Окей, thank you. Bye-bye.
Один момент. Скажите, я в течение недели разошлю исправления по публикациям, по печатным статьям.
Хорошо. Окей. Окей, спасибо вам за работу.
Yes, спасибо.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for everybody for attending. Okay, thank you. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye bye.